Hello and welcome to this video, where I discuss the potential different ways devils can manifest themselves to complete their contracts. This is based around the idea that devils don't require themselves to be actually present on Earth for their powers to influence it. The first time which this becomes relevant is when we see Aki summoning the fox devil's head from its position in Kyoto. Another time this becomes relevant is when Typhoon manifests as a swirling mass of water to communicate with the assassin and Riz, and of course both Darkness and Hell devils respectively don't require themselves to even be on Earth to enact their contracts or to affect Earth in some meaningful manner. So, what I am putting forwards, is that all devils have the ability to be summoned at least in part from the place in which they are residing in, provided that such a stipulation had been made by the contract they are a part of. I am not currently certain if the summoning of an entire devil in this manner, although this could be how some devils manage to reach Earth without actually requiring to be killed, devils such as Makima who apparently found a way between Hell and Earth without the requiring of her own death. In fact, in the case of the Prince the Spider Devil, we know summoning between Hell and Earth is possible, although it seems like this might be something to do with Prince or Makima in particular rather than just a standard means of transport between the two, which actually might be quite interesting if Makima herself required help to get out of Hell without being killed. We have also seen that, these partially manifested forms, in the case of the Hell Devil at the very least, the damage it took does not seem to directly reflect onto the true form of the devil. As we see the manifested centaur-like body of the devil get absolutely shredded by the out-of-control berserker chainsaw man, but that doesn't seem to hold any sway over the true form of the Hell Devil, which seems to be at least partially the giant hand which drags the devils into Hell. This means that devils have the potential to influence things from infinite distances. Now that is only regarding a more traditional means of interaction, through partial physical manifestations, but another manner which is to be considered if the way which is demonstrated by Typhoon. This seems to be less of a means of communication created via a contract but rather an innate ability which the devil possesses. So, upon coming to that conclusion, I began to think of other devils and how they might manifest themselves, and then something struck me. We have already seen another devil do something similar, or at least we have seen a fiend doing something similar. Power when she was capable of manifesting from the blood she had given to Denji in the past. This means that potentially Power could manifest her consciousness from any significant amount of her own blood or even from the blood of others, provided she wasn't already severely injured or wasn't otherwise unaware of the potential of such an ability. We have also seen the Darkness Devil, seemingly manifest from darkness on Earth, literally punching a hole through reality to provide a portion of itself to Santa, so presumable the Darkness Devil would also be capable of manifesting itself at least partially on Earth in any mass of darkness of significant size, which might explain how this devil is apparently known of and Santa was aware of its potential without it ever having been killed to move to Earth. Devils of such high power might each have their own unique means to travel between Hell and Earth without requiring that they die, which might also conveniently explain Pochita being able to move back and forth between Hell and Earth without being reborn one way or another. Then again, Pochita is quite a weird example of a devil anyway, with a great many mysteries going on with it. This could potentially mean that the bomb devil could have in its true devil state manifested itself within an explosion, or that something like the fox devil would be able to communicate through foxes. If devils truly can communicate through that which they represent, this could get very out of hand very quickly, especially with a devil like the Control Devil, which has no direct physical manifestation but could start to manifest as a part of the psyche of people, the ability which governs someone's self-control, a very literal voice in the back of your head. That would certainly have made Makima even more of a threat and could even have the potential of setting up a partial return of the original Control Devil. Going beyond just communication methods, we know that devils of the right type can also even live inside of people, namely the hybrids. Interestingly, we learned from Denji that these devils, which are supposedly a part of their human host, don't actually require that the devil be present for them to not only live but access their power. This suggests that hybrids, despite their name and the fact that the one we have the most experience with so far being Denji, who always has Pochita with him, these beings don't actually require their devil to be physical present with them, so their power is capable of manifesting through a human body despite them being apart. It wouldn't be surprising if more experienced hybrids were to remove the devil that they are actually bonded to from their body to prevent that devil from being potentially damaged or killed during battle. This seems to be a unique form of a devil's power manifestation, only available to people who give their bodies to a devil, but at the same time aren't yet deceased. Where the devil seemingly takes a subservient role in the relationship as the human continues to control their body despite it now being shared with the power of a devil. This is different from the way a friend manifests its devilish powers, as they take over a corpse, seemingly using it as a flesh puppet which they are able to animate and control as if it was their own body, even apparently sustaining actual biological functions, but at the same time they do not require these bodily functions to survive and even don't require the body to actually be completely intact to function. It's more like the body is a suit, which can be yanked around by the devil and is held together by its power but not actually a part of them. Hence why Cosmos can still function despite having her brain hanging out and power can revive from her blood, because the body isn't actually truly a part of them. Another thing to consider is that devils might not manifest for two different people in the same way. We already know that devils have the ability to change their form, both depending on the strength of the contract they are given. See the gun devil for what happens when you sacrifice a truly monstrous amount of life force to a devil, and then look at Pochita, who is the exact opposite. He changed form after being injured significantly and sufficiently either enraged or otherwise broken, which caused the awakening of its apparently somewhat original form. This of course is also present with how the Hell Devil is portrayed in the story. When Santa first summoned the devil, it seemingly used its true form or at least a significantly larger amount of its power to complete its contract than it was initially willing to give to complete the contract it had with Kishibe and his men. So a devil's manifestation, even when directly summoned by a contract, can be altered both by the contract itself, the devil's condition, and the devil's own willingness to put in the effort. And another way in which devil powers manifest is through subordination. This is most prominently demonstrated by Makima, who is capable of calling upon the power of other devils directly through the contracts she forces them into using her own power. Makima doesn't seemingly always require that a devil be present in order to use its unique powers, due to presumable the crushing she caused on the terrorists and the finger gun ability she possesses are the effect of other devils she had contracts with but weren't actually present during the event. Of course, with Makima, we also see that a devil's power can be manifested in unaware targets, both subconsciously manipulating their minds rather than physically manipulating them, as you see with the doll devil. You also see that as part of the devil contact, Makima is able to revive at the cost of other people's lives because they are presumably tied directly into her own devilish powers. Another means in which devil powers manifest themselves is through weapons themselves, as we see with Angel apparently being able to create weapons with the ability to damage incorporeal beings like Ghost or other devils which would otherwise be resistant to such attacks, directly turning a being's life force into power, without the need of a contract of any kind to be able to do so. And also, it seems just anyone can wield these weapons, regardless of the angel devil's feelings towards them. It has also been demonstrated that other devils can manifest their powers as weapons, namely Power herself manifesting her powers as weapons, or how Denji was able to manifest it as a chainsaw, potentially combining the power of Pochita to mold the blood into a chainsaw. Now that I've gone over the different ways we know that devil's power can manifest, I'd like to at least try and categorize them. So first we have manifestations born from a contract. These include the ability to summon specific parts of a devil, ensnaring other non-related beings, and hybrid creation. The second category is independent manifestations. These are abilities which are unique either to a specific devil or a specific type of devil. These include Typhoon's weather manipulation and communication, Angel's ability to create weapons from others' life force, and Hell's ability to open entire gateways to Hell. The third and final type I want to classify is combined manifestations, namely the blood weapon which Denji was capable of manifesting, which seemed to me to be more of a mix between the two devils' power coming together as a unique manifestation. This category I believe has the most potential for resulting in some of the craziest mishmashes of powers, and a powerful, experienced devil hunter would make use of other devils' power together to make something else entirely. I'm thinking Jinn from Magi sort of stuff. But that's it for this video. Sorry if it's a bit more scatterbrained than my usual ones, but I just kept having more and more ideas pop into my head as I was writing this, and they innately flowed into one another, and I didn't want to leave them out. I guess this is just showing off how this isn't supposed to be a concise explanation, but a springboard for discussion. But I've been the Anonymous Weeb, and if you liked the video, please do let me know by pressing the like button, subscribe if you want to hear more of my ramblings, and leave a comment so we can let the creativity flow. But beyond all that, I'm wishing you all the best day or night wherever you are. See you in my next video.